Gusty winds ushering in a change. I'm tracking a cold front straight ahead.
A man's attempt to run from police caused quite the mess in downtown Nicholasville when he tried to fight with a firefighter and then steal a car. And a setback today for the state transportation cabinet. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security denying the state's request for another extension to meet the Real ID Act. What that means for you, just ahead.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott reporting. It is another mild and somewhat windy day out there, but we are about to see those nice temperatures knock down in the coming days. Let's check in now with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Yeah, cold front is on the way, Amber. That is cruising into western Kentucky as we speak, and it's going to roll to the east and impact our weather. It's been a spectacular day again out there. A lot of blue skies across Lexington, but you're looking to the west and noticing now a little bit of cloud cover streaming on in, and those fall colors starting to show off a little bit as well. And you got the gusty winds that are kind of blowing the leaves around outside. Temperatures right now mid to upper 70s into most areas. Your Defender radar network showing that bank of cloud cover that is off to the west of Interstate 65, and it's rolling in. A little shower action as well on top of Owensboro into western Kentucky. And the actual front is now cruising into the St. Louis area, Chicago, and it's rolling toward the east with some gusty rains and much colder air coming in behind that. A big temperature tumble is on the way as we go into our Thursday. Coming up in just a few minutes, we've got a new hour-by-hour forecast to track the rain chances and the big temp tumble. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
We will see you then, Chris. Thank you. A man's attempt to run from police caused a mess in downtown Nicholasville. Police say about 8 this morning, a driver crashed into 3 cars on Main Street near Brown Street. They say the scene became more intense when the suspect got into a fight with a firefighter and tried to carjack someone. WKYT Sean Moody has the details. It's our top story at 4.
This all came to an end here near the intersection of Brown and Main Street, not too far from downtown Nicholasville. Police say this man crashed into 3 vehicles, tried to take another, and then tried to fight a firefighter. Police say it happened shortly before 8 a.m. They said Jonathan Wilson was driving this red SUV down Main Street when he hit 3 vehicles, one in front of a shopping center, another in front of the library, and finally one more, where the SUV finally stopped at Brown Street. Then police say he tried to take another person's car. When firefighters got there to help, police say he started fighting with one of them. Now police are trying to figure out what exactly was going on, but they're glad no one was hurt very badly.
You know, we are very fortunate that no one was seriously injured by this guy's actions, and so I hate to say it, but thank goodness that the final vehicle disabled his, or we could be working more wrecks up the road, or we could have somebody who's seriously injured.
Police have charged Wilson with assault, wanton endangerment, and robbery, among other charges. In Nicholasville, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And police told us that Wilson is from Liberty. The federal government has denied Kentucky's request for more time to update its driver's licenses. Congress imposed new ID requirements called Real ID after the September 11th terrorist attacks. Starting in January, Kentuckians cannot use their driver's licenses or ID cards to enter military bases. The denial does not affect offices of the Social Security Administration, Veterans Affairs, or courthouses. If Kentucky is still out of compliance by January of 2018, Kentucky driver's licenses will not be accepted to board domestic flights. The Kentucky legislature passed a law earlier this year at the request of Governor Matt Bevin to bring the state into compliance, but the governor then changed his mind and vetoed the law, saying it was rushed. Lexington police are investigating after a shot was fired into the Fifth Third Bank building in downtown Lexington. It happened just after 10 this morning. The shot shattered the outer pane of the glass on the 4th floor office. The bullet did not go into the building. Police believe it was fired from a large caliber handgun and fired from a distance, since the bullet didn't actually break through the glass. Police are calling this a random, isolated incident. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Barbara Bailey joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Barb.
Good afternoon, Amber. The Franklin Sheriff's Department has issued a warning tonight for people who drive on Interstate 64. Police say to be on alert if you see a car broken down on the side of the road. This comes after a man was robbed and attacked after he stopped to help a stranded driver on the exit 53 off-ramp this morning. We'll have more details on that warning ahead on WKYT News at 5. Instead of celebrating the birth of a baby, a Lexington family will spend this evening mourning the loss of a mother and her unborn baby. Mariah Coleman's due date was today, but she and her baby were killed last month. Tonight, her family plans to march for justice as police continue to search for her killer. Family and friends hope tonight's march will lead to someone coming forward with information about Coleman's murder.
It's about justice and about doing the right thing. If you don't stop this individual who killed a woman and a child, then how will you feel if this individual go out and kill somebody else? But if anyone out there has lost a loved one, then come out and support and send a community message that this is not acceptable in our community.
Tonight's rally is set to begin at 6 o'clock on the steps of the Fayette County Circuit Courthouse. We'll have a live preview of that event ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Barb, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. At least 19 people have been killed by the flooding in North Carolina following Hurricane Matthew, and more water is expected. Diane Gallagher has the very latest on this very serious situation.
I thought I was going to die.
And as the water in North Carolina rises, threatening even more communities, rivers reaching historic levels, the governor is issuing a sober warning.
Stay away from the water. Whether you're walking or riding in a car, do not get near the water. It will kill you.
The majority of U.S. deaths related to Hurricane Matthew have been in North Carolina. 19 people so far killed there, nearly all of those due to drowning and the subsequent floods. More flooding in even more areas of the state is expected.
I cannot emphasize to you more, there are a lot of people that are hurting.
Thousands have already been evacuated, their communities completely underwater. In Robeson County, where a third of the population already lives below the poverty line, homes and businesses are gone. Almost 3,000 people are staying in shelters there.
People with little of nothing, this flood took it all, but we're here, we're safe, we're just thankful for that.
As swift-moving water sweeps over interstates and roads, dramatic rescue tales are emerging from the eastern part of the state.
I started just screaming like all the way back onto the highway for people to see us. They started swimming onto 95, and I passed all my kids out the window, one by one.
31 of North Carolina's 100 counties are under a state of emergency, and it's not over.
This hurricane continues in North Carolina. The record crest will not be until Saturday.
I'm Diane Gallagher reporting.
Thousands of Toyota Prius hybrids are being recalled. What you need to know in WKYT Money Watch. And thanks to creepy clowns, Ronald McDonald has been keeping a low profile. That's coming up here on WKYT News at 4.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back in. Samsung is sending customers fireproof boxes to return your Galaxy Note 7 phones. That begins today's Money Watch. The boxes are a precaution in case of possible fires or explosions during shipping. Samsung issued an unprecedented warning to customers, telling them to turn off and return their Galaxy Note 7 phones because of incidents of them spontaneously catching fire. Shares of the tech company continued plunging after announcing it is permanently stopping production of that device. Toyota is recalling 340,000 Prius cars because of a defect with the parking brake. Nearly 100,000 of the affected cars are in North America. Toyota says it has received reports of crashes, injuries, even deaths. The company says the parking brake cable can disengage, causing the brakes to stop working properly. The problem models were manufactured from August 2015 to now. Comcast is facing a government fine of $2.3 million. The FCC says the cable company charged customers for services they never ordered, like premium channels and extra cable boxes. Comcast says the problems came from what it called, quote, isolated errors and customer confusion, and that there was no intentional mischarging. A new tax on sodas and sports drinks could lower the risk of obesity and diseases like diabetes. That's according to the World Health Organization. It wants countries to put a 20% tax on sugary drinks to cut consumption by the same amount. The soft drink industry has called the recommendation discriminatory. And Ronald McDonald is making fewer appearances these days. McDonald says it's being thoughtful by lowering the profile of its mascot. This comes after a wave of reports of creepy clown sightings across the country. Some children say people dressed as clowns tried to lure them into the woods.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about in Mercer County today at Canine Motivation, how they're training protection puppies. We'll tell you more when we return here on WKYT.
Cold front on the way, already impacting western Kentucky. We'll time that into where you live right after the break. Stay here.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, we continue to deal with nice weather across central and eastern Kentucky, but some big changes are brewing just to our west in the form of clouds, some showers, gusty winds, much cooler temperatures. Let's get into it and show you those live sky cams from across the land. Look at that Corbin cam now focusing on the fall colors, and Jackson now seeing some fall colors. More sun in the east, though a little more cloud cover now rolling on in to the E-Town area. That's where we're getting closer to the rain. Mid and upper 70s out there, most of central and eastern Kentucky as of now. 24-hour forecast. Boy, it looks a whole lot different than the past 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to some gusty showers into the afternoon. Slowly but surely, and this isn't a lot of rain coming tomorrow, slowly but surely, sun will take over. It's not going to do a whole lot, though, for your back porch thermometer. Low and mid 60s. And then by 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, the 40s will show up. Defender Radar Network, we've got the clouds into the mix as well, because this is not a system that has a ton of rain with it. So we're showing you the changes with the clouds pressing toward Interstate 65, scattering of showers and thunderstorms from Chicago back toward the St. Louis area. That is where our cold front is currently located. Ahead of that, it is mild. Behind that, not so much, and that colder air is driving its way on toward the south and the southeast. So here's a little breakdown. Tomorrow, gusty shower 2 in the morning, afternoon, windy, much cooler. Friday, cool wind's going to blow. Can be a late day shower. I think there's a better chance of rain now Friday night and into Saturday. I don't think it's going to be a washout. Don't think it's going to rain all the time, but we got to be on guard for some rain that can cause some issues with any outdoor activities. Now let's show you the front itself in terms of the temperatures. We were showing you the front with precipitation. 70s out ahead of that. St. Louis 70, 47 Des Moines. You've got 35 showing up into Cut Bank. They started the day into the low and mid-teens in a few of those spots. So you see all the air that is behind this front. It's going to modify a little bit by the time it reaches us tomorrow, but that's a cool shot of air, and that will take us on into the day on Friday as well. Here's the hour-by-hour breakdown of all this. 8 o'clock to 11, there's a chance for an isolated shower northern western parts of the area. Tomorrow morning, front is through the region with a gusty shower. A lot of us will stay dry. A lot of low clouds, though, through noon. Look at that, 55 into Covington, 57 Lexington. So into the afternoon, we start to see the sun taking over, with temperatures that'll top out into the low 60s. Could be a few upper 30s on Friday morning, but overall Friday's trend will be for some rain across southern parts of the area, and that rain train then tries to increase again to the north Friday night and into Saturday. So that's why now I'm leaning toward a little better shot for some rain on Saturday, and could be a shower or thunderstorm around on Sunday and Monday too. Big changes, though, with another even stronger cold front, if you will, by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So changes are brewing. Let's see what's brewing on the roads with Officer Don.
Well, earlier crash at High and Ransom has just been cleared, so the map is clear right now of collisions, at least. We're in pretty good shape there. Construction zones, be careful if you're headed out. Police are running radar on Todd's Road and also on Versailles Road near the Circle. Drive times for now, looking good to Versailles, 12 minutes. No problems to Paris or Winchester, in about 23 minutes. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. Protection puppies, raising them, training them, many of them going on to be a part of a law enforcement family. Deanne Stevens is out and about today with more on how these dogs are trained and how you might be surprised to find out it's done right here in Kentucky. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here in Mercer County. We're at a place called Canine Motivation with some of the most magnificent dogs you've ever seen. This is Glock, and Glock is busy watching his daddy here because daddy has what, a ball in your hand,
I have
right?
a ball in my pocket.
This is Nick Risden, and Nick trains these incredible animals. Nick, what was it? What made you want to be? You said you just love being with the dogs.
I got a dog when I was 18, and it just changed stuff with me. I wanted to see. I was fascinated by how they understood things, and it's been just an adaptation from that ever since. Turned into a business, and now that's pretty much all we do.
And you do training you train the dogs to be canine dogs, but you also do competitive dogs. This is your competition dog, Glock. And listen, guys, you're going to want to stay tuned for this because you're going to see Glock at work here in just a little bit. But talk a bit about that, the training and the protection the dogs provide too.
Well, it's a lot of genetics. I mean, out of his litter, he has a sister that lives in New York with Nancy Stock that just got her Schutzen 1. That's what we train in. He has a sister on a search and rescue team, Gia. So they can go into several aspects of dog training. Whether it's police work, not any, well, yes, one out of this litter, Graham, is a police officer in Quebec City in Canada. But this is my personal dog, and we work towards competition obedience, protection, tracking, obedience with a little bit of agility in it.
And you said the key in training these dogs is all about manipulation.
I have their ball. He wants this ball. He has to give me something to get this ball. Some people want to use crazy scientific terms towards it. I really call it bribery and manipulation. You want this,
hey, we
you
do
want
that with kids, don't
yes,
we?
it's the same concept. I had my niece for a year. You want to watch Frozen? Sit down, be calm. We can watch Frozen. You want to run around the living room all crazy? I'm turning Frozen off.
That's right.
So it really is the same kind of concepts. Okay. I want the training, the engagement, the focus, and through that, I get it all by giving him his ball.
And listen, they train dogs as well for you at home, and it's pretty incredible to see what they do. Coming up here at 4:50, we're going to let Glock go to work so you can see exactly what he's doing, the competition dog. We're going to talk a little bit more about that canine motivation and the training they do there and protection for you at home. How do they get in touch with you if they're interested in more training? Because you don't just train the dogs, you train the people too.
Training the people is important. That's actually our #1 goal. Getting them to come out and actively work with us, see what we do, and to keep this training going. If I stop training him, even his skills are slowly going to diminish. It's a lifetime thing. The easiest way is through Facebook, our kennel page, which is Canine Motivation, Von Reisenhouse German Shepherds, or caninemotivation.com.
Okay, perfect. We will have more coming up here at 4:50, and you got to stay tuned. You will not believe what this dog can do. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Canine Motivation. I guess you can't say it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. A new study outlines teens' worst driving habits as deadly crashes spike. That's ahead in Better Living. And how running might help your brain. Stay with us. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $107 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Getting dizzy after standing up is a cause for concern. A new study finds a sudden drop in blood pressure when quickly standing up is linked to a higher risk of developing dementia. Researchers followed more than 6,000 elderly and healthy people for 22 years. They say participants with this particular type of low blood pressure, called orthostatic hypotension, saw less blood pushed to their brains, which over time can lead to brain dysfunction. Well, this story is pretty interesting. A new Canadian study shows that running repairs your brain. Researchers working with mice discovered a molecule that is triggered by running. They say it helps to heal the protective coating that surrounds and insulates nerve fibers in your brain. The number of teenagers involved in deadly car crashes is rising for the first time in nearly a decade. New data from federal regulators reveals a 10% increase last year in teen driving deaths. Chris Van Cleve has the results of a new survey showing teenagers' top mistakes.
Donovan Tesmer was about to start his senior year of high school. While out with his friends, the teen's girlfriend was speeding, lost control, and hit a tree. Donovan wasn't wearing a seatbelt. he was ejected and killed instantly.
I can't even describe what it felt like in that moment, to be standing on a crash site, looking down at a yellow tarp, knowing that my son was underneath it.
Almost a decade later, speeding remains the top mistake teens make behind the wheel. Of the nearly 14,000 fatal crashes involving teen drivers over the last 5 years, more than 4,200 involve speed.
I think one of the kind of disturbing things is that it's not getting any better.
Tamara Johnson from AAA says its survey found parents were often more guilty of bad driving than their teens. 65% of driving instructors complained parents were worse at teaching their children to drive than a decade ago.
When parents set stricter rules for their teen before they get behind the wheel, those teens typically have less crashes.
After speed, the most common mistake teens make is distracted driving.
I thought he was Snapchatting actually because he had it up like this, but he said he was texting.
For that violation, Christian Castellano got a ticket.
Do you text and drive a lot?
Normally no, because my mom got on to me when I first started driving, and so after that I kind of quit doing it. And then I was running late because I was getting my oil changed.
The third big mistake is not properly scanning the road for hazards. This teen fails to notice another car running the red light.
Whoa, stop! Hit your brakes! Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Rockville, Maryland.
New research funded by Ford finds a third of teens are waiting till they're 18 to get their driver's licenses, where they are not subject to graduated licensing laws, and that may be resulting in more deadly crashes. All right, let's head over to Chris for another check of the weather, and it seems like everybody is sunny today.
Yeah, we're getting in on a lot of sunshine again, Amber, across central and eastern Kentucky. Mild temperatures, a lot of mid to upper 70s showing up. Noticing, though, a little more cloud cover streaming on in from the west. That's ahead of a cold front that is marching toward the area. Again, most of us into the high 70s now, and some showers not too far away west of Louisville, parts of Indiana, western Kentucky, Owensboro, Evansville getting in on at least a little bit of light rain. That's a sign of things to come. So you're going to go from full sun to clouds here in about 3 or 4 hours into central Kentucky, a little later into the eastern part of the state, and then the rains will follow suit, followed by a big drop in temperatures. We'll break that down and talk about some additional fronts that may impact the weather for the coming weekend. The hour-by-hour forecast straight ahead. WKYT News at 4:30 starts now.